Hey, channel surfers. Welcome to Remote Reality. This is Lauren.
And this is Dee.
And this is 90 Day The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 6. And it seems a bit dodgy. We've got a new couple, but honestly, they seem familiar.
What the hell are you talking about?
See, like Einstein, time-space continuum equals MC square. We've got a time warp. Somebody has figured out how to go forward in time.
How so? Are you high? Are you drunk?
I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but no, we've seen this couple all season. They just strapped them into a 1985 DeLorean, got them at 85 miles an hour, and boom, here we are 12 years later. Don't you see? This is Luke and Madeline. On again, off again thing, constant arguments, one more forgiveness. This is them. This is them in 10 years.
I see it. I can see where you're going with this.
Age gap relationship, but in reverse. Y'all, this is the future. Luke and Madeline, look, this is what's going to happen. Except I don't think Luke's going to get that hot. He's not going to be as hot as Dylan. We're going to need more than a time machine for that. 90 Day The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 6. Seems a bit dodgy to me. Let's watch.
Dodgy to me.
Here.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Let's start off with the boring stuff and build up to the good stuff. A little bit of foreplay, work our way into the juicy part of this episode. Jenny and Sumit, this was pretty quick. Not in a good way. It wasn't very satisfying.
Not at all. Usually they give us a lot more material to work with, and I think it was like wham bam, thank you ma'am, we're done.
You know what? I think their storyline is running cold, which is why they brought us a new couple this week. They've got to distract us. Jenny and Sumit weren't even on it last week, were they? Or the week before. We missed a week with them.
Yeah, because honestly, I'd like to know what's going on with the restaurant situation, and they haven't covered that in a couple of episodes, right?
Yeah.
Remember?
I guess that one tanked. Jenny doesn't understand why the aunt was mean, which I have trouble believing this is a real storyline. She understands the caste system and Indian culture better than people watching. She lives in India. She understands what societal pressures they have. I feel like this is just playing dumb for a storyline so they can get 5 minutes on this episode and get a check.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, I mean, it was the same stuff they were discussing last week.
You've never even seen Jenny and Sumit before. Why was the aunt mad? Answer this for Jenny. For Spaghetti Jenny.
Because of the age difference, which is what we've been hearing for the last few episodes.
And what is it about the age difference that bothers her?
It's just not acceptable in their society.
She's being looked down on. Sumit says he thought they were over it. Maybe they are. Maybe we are just getting a fantastic acting from Aunt Jenny Spaghetti. Aunt Jenny's face. She would hate that we call her Aunt Jenny. I don't remember her name. Sumit's aunt.
Yeah, the mean one.
The mean one. She's the mean one. So, Sumit is proud that his mom stood up for Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny was worried that it was going to change his mom's opinion of her or maybe make her look more negatively at their marriage. And, she didn't. And I think that made Jenny feel good.
But then again, Sadhna explained to us in the other episode that basically Sumit chose his path and society is going to look down on her either way. So why fight him? Just love your son and they're going to hate you. Let them hate you.
Right.
She basically was forced into accepting that. Either lose everybody and your son or just lose everybody, not your son. And then Jenny, who has been itching to get out of Sumit's parents' house since the moment they walked in the door, decides to twist this argument into another reason that she doesn't want to live there. One of the million reasons she doesn't want to live there is if this is how your family acts and they could poison your mom against us, like anything. Like they're out of spaghetti would be enough reason for her to move. I can't eat. I can't make any dry noodles. She would want to leave.
Yeah, I can see that. I didn't know if she meant leave India or leave their house?
Oh, no. Leave their house.
Okay.
Oh, no. She's getting it good from Sumit.
She's not going to
He's
take
flipping
that
her
back to the
over, patting her down.
US. We're going to
The way that
Joe.
Brennan does it on Love is Blind, not the way that Nick does it.
I was gonna say we should have Joe come and narrate this for us
Joe,
while he's drunk.
Here's a few drinks. Tell us what Sumit's going to do to Jenny. He's not going skiing. Anyway, that's our Love is Blind. We're having a lot of fun covering that. Isn't that's my favorite show right now. No hate on 90 Day. Next is Matthew, and Greta. And Greta, she's still pissed about those clothes.
Can you blame her?
How long does she hold on to this? Like 20-year wedding anniversary. Still mad?
I would say yes. Greta, if they make it to a 20-year anniversary, she will still bring it up. Remember that time when I came and you didn't even have anything ready for me? I didn't have any place for my clothes. Yeah.
She's like a cat with the catnip.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Well, let it go. So she goes to take a shower after she makes one of the many passive-aggressive comments about the clothing. Although, toward the end of this, honestly, okay, Matthew, he's not picking up what she's putting down. She just needs to tell him, move the shit out to the garage. She is making him guess what she wants, which is pretty obvious. Like, she is sitting there with a Pictionary board, drawing a picture of his clothes on fire, and he has no idea what it means. She just needs to say, move this out to the garage. Because later on, he says, if you want this space, this is your room as much as my room. Take my stuff out to the garage. No, Matthew, just get your ass off the couch and go take it. She just got off of a long flight. Just do it.
Yeah. I think
What's that all about?
I don't know, but I think instead of dusting those picture frames, he should have been cleaning out his room and his drawers and making some room for her so she feels like it's her space too.
Dusting those dustless picture frames.
Yeah.
He
completely messed that all up. Different
but
priorities.
He continues to mess it up. Because he's sitting there petting his doggy dog on the couch, little Nellie, who we just get in a third tier, like in a lower cryon. We get the name of Nellie, who Nellie's adorable. Mm-hmm. She kind of reminds me of your Bella.
Yeah, I think she's some kind of a border collie or border collie mix, something like that is what she looked like to me.
And that dog's straight chilling on the couch. I mean, spread out. They are on one side of this love seat, Greta and Matthew. Later on in the episode, and the dog is just like spread out across the other side. Mm-hmm. My couch. Make no mistake, Greta. This is Nellie's apartment. This is Nellie's house. It's never going to be yours. It's never going to be Matthew's. The dog owns this house, as it should be.
That's the way it is here.
That's how it should be. So Greta gets in the shower, and they tell us an hour goes by. Caroline and Mark, Matt's parents, walk in. It's been an hour. They come in. Greta's still in the shower. This is like Showergate from Big Brother. How long is she shower? Like, how bad was that stink? Is she having to bleach it out? What's going on in the shower for an hour?
Well, maybe she's Lysoling down too.
Just dunk herself in disinfectant.
I mean, he did tell her she stunk when she got there, so maybe she's just going overboard to compensate.
An hour. I don't know. I don't know what to do in a bathroom longer than 15 minutes. So
there's been a lot of those kind of issues coming up here lately.
Maybe she was so mad at him when she got there and she was hoping to get sex, but now he's just not getting it. So she went and took care of herself.
That's it.
Because he's in the doghouse. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about Nellie's house. Matthew's dad tells us that Matthew has been anxious. Maybe he has some executive dysfunction. Maybe he's just kind of paralyzed into doing anything because he doesn't know what to do. I can get like that sometimes.
I can overthink a situation trying to make a decision to where I end up making no decision because I've overthought it so much.
If Greta's given him all the signs. If she went to him and said, move this stuff into the garage, do you think he'd get it? Do you think he'd do it?
I would like to think so. I mean, that's pretty much a command. Just move it. Of course, I want a drawer or two.
And then she gives him a little training treat, a little biscuit.
Mm-hmm. She's got a jar. She's got a bowl of chocolates. Every time he does it right, she gives him a chocolate.
Matthew's mom, Caroline, asks if Matthew got a big hug. Was she talking about sex? She like, did you get laid? Did you get a big hug?
That's code for sex.
I think so. You think she was really talking about a big hug?
I don't know, because we already know, since he was saying that she stunk, she probably didn't get a big hug.
Think they got in that kitty litter and rolled around?
Crap.
They had an hour. Maybe she wasn't in the shower the whole hour.
Maybe he was in there with her.
And maybe they were doing some cat play.
Yeah. Meow.
What are those scratches? Did Apple get mad at you? So the parents say that they look happy, and they do. When they're around the parents, they're putting on a great act. This is like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And Caroline tells Greta, we made you some meat-free zones.
In the freezer.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
That was not a big freezer. It was like a chest.
It looked like it was like the bottom drawer of one of those like double refrigerators where it was like at the bottom and you just pulled it out. So I don't even think it was as big as a chest. I mean, it was a smaller section than like a single chest freezer. Yeah.
So like she gets the top and the meat is just looking up at her vegetables.
I guess maybe so, no touching. Maybe they think it's contagious or something. The meat is going to infect
your veggies are basically in what is that thing called? Where they put the bodies in the fridge, the hospital, the dead people.
Oh, like the body bags or?
No, where you roll them in after.
The morgue?
That. Yeah, like her vegetables are just chilling in a morgue with some cows. I want to know more about this meat-free zone.
Yeah. What's the definition of a meat-free zone? Yeah.
And among those questions has to do with this beautiful, quote-unquote, vegan cake. What did you think?
It looked yummy.
It did.
I don't know how tasteful a vegan cake is. I've never had one.
Well, Caroline said besides being vegan, it's not bad. But is this truly vegan? It has cats on top of it, hazel and apple.
I thought those were out of some kind of fruit, though.
They're still animals.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
This is not animal free. They're about to eat hazel and apple. Don't think that's vegan. Actually, vegan cake, though, if you get the Duncan Hines cake mix and you mix it with a can of soda and then bake it, so just the cake mix and the soda, mix and bake, that makes a vegan cake. And you can even use diet soda, which that's what I like to do. I'll use like a diet soda. So it's a little healthier when I eat the whole box, but it's good, but you don't add the eggs. So yeah.
How's it healthier? It's
because you don't have the calories from the eggs or the oil.
So it's less calories, not necessarily healthier.
Well, canola oil is not good for you anymore. So unless you're putting beef tallow in your cake, it's probably healthier to not. I don't know.
I actually have a recipe where you use yogurt in place of the oil.
Ooh. Or applesauce.
Yeah, I like the applesauces in the brownies. It's definitely the yogurt for me when I make the cakes. Actually, I have more compliments on my cake when I use the yogurt than any other time I make it.
There's a really good recipe. It's pound cake mix, and you mix it with a can of pineapple and bake it. Yeah.
They got all of these new dump cake recipes here lately, too. I love those things.
I've been making the pumpkin spice. Who makes it? Nedson or something. It's pumpkin spice cake mix. I made a loaf. I make them as loaves. I made one the other day. It was gone. Rebecca and Izzy came over, and between them and us, gone in a day.
Do you remember when we worked in Fort Mill in Baxter, and we used to go down to that little convenience store that had the restaurant in it?
Oh wait, I thought you were going to do Cup Craze story.
No, even though that was good, the Cup Craze. Yeah.
Oh, yes, the peach stand.
Yeah, because they would have like daily lunch specials.
Yes.
Like lunch meals. We could go down there and get like 4 courses and a dessert for like, what, $5.99 or something?
Probably. I can't remember, but it was delicious. It was Southern cooking. It was all fresh from their farm.
It was always good. They made an amazing dump cake of some sort, some kind of fruit. And every time they had it, like it was gone almost in no time. But it was so freaking good.
They had really good fudge too, and really good canned or jarred. Like they would jar different vegetables and pickles and. Oh, yeah, that was good. Now, Cup Crazed, oh man, we're way ADD today. They won Cupcake Wars like twice, and It was right across from our office. And I
Yeah.
remember one time we went in there on a Wednesday and I wanted one of their booze cakes because they would infuse their cupcake with booze.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, it's Wednesday afternoon. Do you want a cupcake with a side of booze? They're like, we only do that on weekends.
Just give me the cupcake. We'll go down here and get the booze at the. There was
It was a
plenty of
rough
places for
day.
booze.
So the way they were slicing that cake, that tiered cake, they were like slicing it one tier at a time, like cutting off the top tier. I've never done that.
Yeah. Well, the layers,
Mhm.
because the tiers are like a wedding cake, right? Where they're like they've got poles or something in between the layers. Where this is just one layer. It looked like it was like a dozen layers though, all on top of each other.
Hmm.
And they were, instead of slicing all the way down through the layers, they were just,
In a little
I noticed
dainty
that
piece.
as well. Yeah, they would just slice like a couple of layers on the very
I've
top.
never eaten a cake like that.
I've never eaten a cake like that before.
Have I put my finger straight in a cake and eaten it? Yep. Have I cut a little layer off the top? Nope. Never. And I'm not going to try it. It does not look enjoyable that way.
No, I was like, what kind of stingy piece of cake is this? Give me a damn slice.
So after all that fistful of cake, Greta must be looking tired because Caroline tells her you need to go to sleep. You look exhausted. Always nice to hear. And they go lay down in bed and they're back to fighting. This is where he's telling her, my room is your room. Take whatever you want out. He should maybe offer to let her decorate it. Maybe say, okay, look, let's start fresh. Let's clean it out and put all of our stuff back in together. Let's take a weekend and make it our space. Perhaps it's because, we think that she's over there on a work visa because she wouldn't be able to volunteer on a fiancé visa.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
and maybe this isn't something more serious, which is why they're not getting an apartment together yet. But did you see that freaking buckhead deer pillow he was laying on with the British
No.
flag?
No, I missed that.
This is like such a bachelor room. There's like a deer. Like when he's laying there, it looks like he has antlers.
Yeah, I don't think
I
he
wouldn't
did.
feel at home with that either.
Yeah, I don't think he did enough to make her feel comfortable coming in. It's just my opinion.
Agreed. So the next thing we see is Greta and Matthew walking into this pretty clean, like white, looks like a lobby. At first, I'm thinking he's taking her to a hotel to get a little bit of fun time away from the parents.
No, it's a spa. He's taking
It's a
her into a
spa.
spa.
Looks nice.
It's very quaint.
Looks
It-
comfy.
yeah, it was very relaxing looking. So
And those
yeah.
chairs, they're like we sink into them. I wonder if they were heated. They look like they were plugged into the wall.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's a good possibility because they did look so comfy. And then the champagne when they walked in the door and the hot towels and oh gosh. And they haven't even made it to the massage yet.
Would you rather that or a hotel to get your hanky panky?
Definitely a hotel. I
Same.
mean, how long's it been since they saw each other?
Like, y'all need some kiddie play, and those walls are too thin for Caroline and Mark. And as soon as they sit down, they're looking happy for a minute. The conversation takes a complete turn. I don't even know how we get here. Matthew is saying, are you after me just for my money? Greta is saying that she goes to get massages like every week, every couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Well, he basically was like, I can't afford that kind of lifestyle. We need to be realistic about the stuff that we're doing because he's
Right.
the only one working and they're staying with his parents.
I agree. She wants them to get a place. She wants Hazel to come over to the U.S. and she's going to the spa every week, every couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she was doing that before she left, she could have been saving money. I wonder if this is a storyline. From what I remember, she's a pretty recent grad from law school, which you're just not going to have the time to go to the spa that often. I mean, I guess you could, but there's just so much going on when you're in school. And then you're also living like a student life. But as far as her being after him for his money, dude, you're living with your parents.
Yeah, how much money can he have? Well, I mean, and she also pointed out to him, she's like, basically, you know, this is just a spa visit or a massage. You've upgraded the motor in your car when it didn't need to be upgraded. You just bought a very expensive computer and it's a massage.
And he says, well, we're both using the computer and the car, but
I just think that he probably has some valid points. Absolutely, they need to watch their funds until they get their own place because they have things that they want to accomplish.
right.
But he went about it the wrong way. I mean, he just sounded like an ass about it. He was very condescending with her, I thought, in the way that he approached the conversation. I didn't like it at all. She didn't either.
No, she felt like she was a burden. And she said, look, I don't want to be a burden. She feels like she just rolled up on this dude into his bedroom that he dusted. And this is all going to take time. She has to get her certification. I mean, she's a licensed attorney in the U.S. She's got to do a whole nother thing now to be an attorney in the U.K. I said, you know what, Hazel loves you a way that Matthew cannot love you, Greta. You need to run back home to Hazel, get your massages and your kitty snuggles because Matthew can't love you like that.
No.
And that's probably how I could have been a crazy dog lady.
Yeah. I mean, she's basically he's turning their sacrifices into a pissing contest of who's doing more, and it's not sitting well at all.
And then she is turning their expenses into a pissing contest. You spent this and I spent this. I think they're acting. I still think this is just a storyline.
Because they ain't got nothing better to do.
They've got nothing to fight about. They're living with his parents.
True.
If she had these financial concerns, they didn't just pop up when she flew into the UK. She would have had them going in there, and hopefully she would have considered those and taken some precautions with her spending and not gone to the spa every week. You got to look at the needs versus wants sometimes. I'm not all Dave Ramsey, like beans and rice and beans, but I mean, I go to get my hair done every couple months.
Quite a while.
That's about as spa as I get.
Yeah, I don't spend money on stuff like that either.
Luke and Madeline. Did you notice that the cars are the same way in Colombia as in the U.S.? Like the driver's side is on the same side as us?
Yeah, I did. I think that was the first thing I wrote too is road rage.
I'm
She's
driving.
a road rager.
But she's forgiven him this time because he was tired. This time before, I think he's going to expect forgiveness.
Maybe, but I mean, she didn't forgive him enough to give him any. She still withheld sex because she's mad.
See, I couldn't tell because she was saying she was so horny. And then he was like, oh, it felt good because we cuddled.
Yeah. No, I interpreted what she said as it sucked because she was so horny, but.
See, I thought she was making excuses. And she was like, look, yeah, I was angry, but we just had some angry sex. I was like, she forgave him because that D must be good.
Maybe. I don't know. That's just, I thought that she had withheld it. So, okay.
Well, whatever happened, I don't know if they're going to be doing anything for a while. They're going to taste some floofy cakes. And we've got 3 choices: vanilla berry, red velvet, and pistachio. Which one would you say is wedding cake to you? Or is there an option that maybe we didn't get to sample because we started fighting? What says wedding cake to you?
The red velvet.
Yeah?
Yeah. I love red velvet though, so I might be a little prejudiced.
I was thinking like an almond cake.
Yeah, it's typically not your traditional just plain vanilla and stuff that you see in wedding cakes. They're always some kind of fancy flavor with some kind of fancy icing.
Mine were cupcakes.
Yeah.
A variety. The vanilla berry, Luke says that's basic. The red velvet,
That's the
Madeline
one
doesn't like that, but that's what Luke thinks as wedding.
Right.
It looked like there was a lot less dye in it than an American red velvet.
Maybe.
It looked more chocolate than red velvet, which sometimes the dye can be very off-putting in a red velvet cake if it's not done right. Nothing like red dye. Delicious. And then the pistachio cake with passion fruit. I don't think they made a choice, but I feel like that's what they were going to pick because Madeline loved it. In fact, she said, we need to get this for me and something else for everyone else because I'm not sharing. This is mine.
Okay, so that was the pistachio one.
The pistachio and passion fruit.
I wasn't sure, but that's the one she said looked like his butt, right?
I missed that part.
Yeah, I think she said that cake looked like his butt.
I think I would have liked that one the best, but sometimes I get these maybe allergic reactions to pistachios. My throat will get itchy. And then the last time I made some no-bake cookies and I added pistachio butter, substituted half the peanut butter to make them kind of like the Dubai chocolate inspired. Anyway, yeah, I got real sick. Like I was vomiting. It was not good. So I probably need to just stay away from the pistachios. But that one did sound delicious. And there's this like, it looks like a cake or something sitting off to the side the whole time. They're like little red squares of cake or something. It's different than the slices they're getting to try. And I wonder if that's a prop, considers
where it ends up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one that I thought was the pistachio because that's the one that she said when they brought it out looked like his butt.
Okay, no. The pistachio was green and it was in the little slices.
This whatever this was jiggled and
yeah.
It looked like it had
looked
come
like
out of like
pudding.
a bunt. Yeah, it looked like it had come out of like a bunt pan or
Yes.
something. Yes.
So no, that was not the pistachio. The pistachio was like a light green. But he apologizes for it being a rough start and says he loves her so much and he has something to tell her and she knows some shit is coming. She's like, you're being weird. What's happening? He downplays this so much. Remember when I told you I was going to David's house? And she's like, yeah, you didn't respond to me.
The whole weekend. She said the whole weekend.
Dude, well, he had a small bachelor party. And a stripper came over and did stripper stuff. I didn't touch her. Like, she keeps prodding him. And I wouldn't believe him either.
Mm-mm.
He said he wasn't going to have one. He's downplaying this. He's not giving her answers. She's having to drag stuff out of him. So she throws his butt in his face. His butt cake. His jiggly butt cake. And it looks like pudding or something. It's all over him. She storms off to the car. She says she's lost the last almost 2.5 years of her life, which she's 20. So was she 17 when they started dating?
I don't know. I thought he was older than that.
He is. He's 32. And she says the last 2.5 years and she's 20.
Oh.
Yeah.
She might have been illegal, at least in the United States.
Not in South Carolina. 16. But legal or not legal, why is he going after a 17-year-old? Because women his own age know better.
Gotcha.
So he's cleaning cake off of himself and she's telling him, I warned you, I'm done. And she goes and gets in the car and then he's like downplaying this to the cameras. She doesn't like the idea of me being around other women at all. I didn't plan this. I was just there. And starting a marriage out without honesty isn't a good place to start. Would he have even told her if there weren't cameras there to capture it?
I don't know. I mean, he said that's why he was telling her. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. He didn't tell her about Esposa. She had to figure it out. He wasn't real forthcoming with the details of it when she was asking him. She was dragging it out of him. And he's not taking any accountability. He was just there. Okay, so you can't get up and say, I appreciate this, but I told my fiance I wasn't going to do this, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I understand, but I also don't understand what the big deal is about it.
She doesn't trust him.
Well, yeah, but that's a her issue. So why are you still seeing him then?
Exactly.
Why are you still, talking about getting married and planning this wedding?
How do they build back the trust? After he sat there and lied to her and started seeing another woman behind her back, and then now he's lying to her about the bachelor party when, look, if you're going to have one, don't tell her you're not going to have one. Say, all right, if my friend, or don't withhold it for days. He's not being upfront about this at all.
I get what you're
sketchy.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But obviously the trust issue didn't just start. So this whole relationship, she's probably had these issues. Why is she going forward with it?
Because she thinks she can change him. Because he started
heart.
dating her when she was 17 and she is not experienced enough to realize you can't change somebody. What you get is what you get.
Well,
which is why he targeted her. Because he would have been, 9 and she was 17?
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps trying to leave him. She's blocking him. she's saying, look, it's over. Mira, look, I don't have my ring on. And she just drives off and leaves him there. But he's going to come crawling his way back in. I'm sorry. Forgive me one more time.
And she'll
I
probably
promise I'll
forgive him.
change.
Yeah, well, she'll probably forgive him again. That's,
Right.
Look, he's never going to learn if she keeps doing the same thing over and over again. Like, if
And
as
she
long as
doesn't
she's-
have the experience because she's only 20. She
Well, it doesn't take a
hasn't learned
freaking-
because she hasn't known.
It doesn't take a freaking genius to know that if you keep forgiving somebody for something, they're going to continue to do it. Like, if you're not going to teach them a lesson or let them know that you mean what you're saying, that doesn't take a genius.
But he keeps making the promises and she thinks he's going to change.
And she keeps forgiving the promises. So why is he going to? He's not going to change. That's not going to change. He's
Which
not
is why they are Pattia and Dylan 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's old enough to know better. She just,
Well,
I mean, a lot of her childhood, it sounds like, was based on just survival, just making sure she had a roof over her head, had food. She didn't have the luxury of focusing on falling in love, dating.
Well,
When you're homeless and you're a kid, necessities are going to take priority.
yeah. So that, honestly, I would think she would have a lot more skill set and experience.
She has life experience. She doesn't have love experience because she didn't have the luxury of getting that.
Well, they're not always separated. If there's experiences that she's had in her life that she's had to take control of, why can't she do the same thing in her love life?
Takes time to figure out.
I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and blame it on her age, though, because we've all been that age. And some of us had a lot more shit we had to deal with at 20 and 21.
Right. But how old were you when you started dating?
16. When I was allowed to, go out on a date.
And at that age, she was homeless.
I see what you're saying, but I'm just saying I think that she's got some pretty tough life experience, and I think that it would make her less naive when it comes to love. I guess.
And last up, we've got Patia, aka Shalita, and Dylan. Patia, she is 58 years old. She lives in Dallas, Texas. Her stage name is Shalita. She's smoking hot.
Oh my gosh, I hope I look that good at 58.
I don't even look that good, and I'm 41. So she's been an exotic dancer since 1989 when she was 21 years old, and that was 37 years ago. She says that dancing, it makes her feel youthful and energetic, and it keeps her fit. So I wrote down the fountain of youth must be being a stripper. That's it. D, we got to change jobs.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why there's those stripper exercises. Remember, they're on the poles. I'm just going to put a pole in my room.
You know what? They would pay me to put my clothes back on. They would be like, girl, them boobs. Those boobs are hanging down.
Did you ever see the movie Coyote Ugly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you remember? I'm going to call him Dan because I don't know what his name is. Her dad was the Dan from Roseanne.
John Goodman.
Yes. So John Goodman gets up on the stage and he starts dancing. And all of the girls were like, take it off, take it off. And then when he started taking his clothes off, they were like, put it on, put it on.
That would be me. My son didn't even want these milkers. They're not looking like Shalitas. Oh, Dylan, he's 38. He's from Tasmania. I called it. I knew that he was a male stripper before he even said it. The way he was talking about plumbing, like plugging up leaks, and all of his clients were just very beautiful women. Before he even sat there and said, I heard you have a broken pipe. I'd hate for you to get soaking wet. Before he even said that, I was like, this man does the same career.
The only thing I was thinking is finally this show has some eye candy.
Finally.
He is smoking.
That she's right. I've never seen abs like that.
No, he is so fine. So fine.
I like him better as a blonde, strangely. I usually like dark hair.
Mm-hmm. I don't really have a preference, but I married a blonde, so.
He likes plumbing because he can choose what jobs he wants, and there's plenty of jobs. There's always work. And I've never heard this saying. I wonder if it's an Australian saying, busy as a bull's ass in fly season.
I know. I had to stop and repeat it to see what he said there because I was like, what kind of season?
I forgot to RSVP to that party yesterday. Should I be like, sorry, I've been busy as a bull's ass in fly season.
Yeah, but when I talked to you earlier, you said flu season or something.
That is because autocorrect changed it. I knew that it was fly, but I was reading my notes without editing them first. And yeah, that doesn't make as much sense, does it?
Flies,
Maybe in Mad Cow season.
Yeah, because when I got it, I was like, flu season? What the hell does a bull's ass have to do with flu season?
What's fly season?
Maybe horse flies. Maybe there's a season for horse flies or something on, because they tend to be around cattle. So, I don't know. What's fly season? Well, summer. Summer
Go
is
ahead,
fly
make
season.
it up, Dee. Tell us all about fly season.
Fly season. I mean, we don't really see them in the winter. Maybe, I don't know.
Flies, also known as sky raisins, tend to come out in the spring months. That is when my dog snatches them out of the air for a yummy treat.
And in other words, bulls' asses are very busy during that season.
Just helping them over the fence.
I don't care. He could say the sky. This guy could say the damn sky is purple for all I care. I'd believe.
Dee
him.
needs her pipes cleaned. She's like, plumber.
I could use some plumbing.
Plumber for one.
Bring that wrench when you come.
So he's the only male stripper in Rochester. And he made it to Australia's Got Talent to their finale. And then he got a gig as an MC for Australia Down Under in Vegas. And that's where he met Patia at his show. And at the time he met her, she was married twice, separated, wasn't looking for love. That's always how it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw her on the stage and she said it was love at first boob sight.
She does have an amazing rack.
She does. Mine haven't set that high since I was in my 20s.
Wonder what makes them sit that high. Like, seriously.
Probably some enhancements.
Yeah, maybe there's some boob shelves or something put in.
Yeah. She looks great. Now, she says that he's an old soul. She never thought she'd date someone that's 20 years younger. And they've been together for 12 years. So you were saying you were getting like a Jenny and Sumit vibe at first?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, until she talked to her nephew. I was thinking, oh, this is going to be a love story like Jenny and Sumit.
Oh my God. Speaking of love story, Dee, look over your shoulder. Look at Drake. Dee has this adorable little red-nosed pitty with blue eyes, and he's just got his little face smushed onto his paws. He's just staring over here.
He's being so patient, listening to me.
He's got something to say about this. He's like, did you say bone or boner? Because I want a bone.
Bacon flavor.
Please and thank you. He wants to go live with Greta's family. It's like, yeah, there's a meat space. Designated meat space. Hey, Mom, can I have a designated meat space at my house? A meat zone, not meat free, but meat zone. Look, he's all excited about the meat zone. He's getting up. All right, sorry.
He has his own T-shirt, by the way, on our store.
He does, because he has so many opinions about the shows.
He's always in the videos.
I don't think that Brad Pitt's hot. She compares him to Brad Pitt. I can see like the body type maybe from like when he was in Fight Club or Snatched, but
Thelma and Louise is what, as soon as she said Brad Pitt, I was like, yep, Thelma and Louise.
But he's hotter than Brad Pitt. He's got a better face.
I don't know. He looks a lot like Brad. He's got that jawline and things like that, like Brad Pitt has. I always thought Brad Pitt was good looking.
Not me. And it might be the blonde hair thing, which is tripping me out because this dude looks better at the blonde. Now, he said he only wants to be with Patia. Immediately, I'm thinking, Hootie and the Blowfish. I only want to be with you. Which the other day, Darius Rucker was at a grocery store that's opening over here with his fiance. He just got engaged. And my friend that works for the Post and Courier went over there to talk to him. She's like, does anybody want to go? But we were filming Love is Blind. So I was like, I got a podcast to drop. Otherwise, I would have gone and met Darius. He's my favorite. I love Darius. He's Gamecock, just like me. University of South Carolina, go Cox. Love Darius. So they lived together in Vegas for 7 years. And then said he had to move back for some visa stuff. So I'm wondering if he overstayed his visa. And that's why they've had to be long distance and have to go the other way. And it's been a while since we were looking at the different kinds of work visas. We did it earlier this year in one of the CLEs where I'm learning immigration law. But it looks like there is a visa that you can extend up to 7 years. Like you can keep getting renewals, but it's a maximum of 7 years. But that's for executives and managers. The other one is 6 years. I don't know that an MC of a Vegas show would be an executive or a manager.
I have no idea.
And I wonder if he stayed over an extra year. Because if you stay over 6 months, then it's a year ban. If you stay over a year, it's a 10-year ban from coming back. So I wonder if that's because they were both working in Vegas and they were making good money. They were living together. I wonder if that's what happened. The visa process is not, and this is not legal advice. That's me. Am I rambling? It's not forgiving. It's not an easy process. And also, even if he did like stay within his visa and leave, to come back over, it might be hard to do as a stripper because they're usually looking at people with specialized knowledge. Which at the time he had been the MC for America's Got Talent. He had been on his show. So there was a notoriety to him versus him just coming over to strip. That's not usually what they're looking at for work visas. So yeah, that was interesting. I had to start thinking about that. But she's talking to her showgirls and she's like, yeah, I'm going to go over to Tasmania. I'm going to read books. I'm going to read the Bible. I'm going to retire. And her friend, who's much younger, questions whether or not that's really what she wants. And at first I was thinking, okay, her friend's young. She never sees herself doing that because it sounds really boring and she's enjoying the nightlife. But then we start to hear about Pattiya and Dylan's relationship. And I can see more where this friend is cautiously coming from.
Right. Yeah, because she sits there and she tells the friend that she's actually left once before, sold everything, got rid of everything down to just the suitcases and the carry-on. And they went to, I think she said Asia.
Thailand.
No, Thailand. Yes. And that didn't work out.
No, because he was going to support her and he wasn't working. They were spending money. They were fighting all the time. She says that they fight because of jealousy with their jobs. And she wound up back in the U.S. dancing again. But she says no matter how much we fight, our love's strong and we end up coming back together. Red flag, red banner. Somebody get the red paint and just go all up and down everything that she owns. It's been 12 years. She's saying she's going over for one last chance and she's tired of going back and forth. There's a solution to this. If she's tired of going back and forth, I've got a solution that 100% will work. Dump him.
And she's 58, not 20.
This is about to be divorce number 3.
Yeah. Well, if they actually get married.
Stopping her.
Well, I don't know. He hasn't proposed this time.
Which we get into when her nephew, the brilliant Nick, comes over and eats some of her chicken curry and tries to give his aunt some sage advice. This is the textbook cougar and cub situation. She said they've been separated like 20 times. And Nick said, where's the ring? So they've been together 12 years. 9 years ago, 3 years in, he proposed and took the ring back because he wasn't ready for this. And she says, oh, it was his age. So yeah, 9 years ago, he was 28. That's not young. They were living together in Vegas at the time.
Right.
And everybody keeps telling her, think about what you're giving up. If you want to take a risk, fine, but make it a calculated risk. Like, make him propose before you go over there. Don't give up your life for someone who's not willing to promise you theirs. After 12 years, after one failed attempt, or I guess 2, the engagement from 9 years ago, and then the last time she went over there, 20 failed attempts, whatever. You're going to be 60 soon.
Well, I think that's the reason why she's willing to do this one last ditched effort.
Well, she also has this sunken loss fallacy where she says, I've invested so much into this, I can't give it up.
I hear that a lot, though, from women in my age group like her. You know, if we've dumped 10 or 12 years into relationships, they don't want to start from scratch. That is not uncommon among my age group because I've heard friends of mine
not
say
uncommon
the same
in
thing.
a lot of situations. Like financially, you hear people say, "Oh, I've put so much into this," and it's like the definition of insanity. They keep giving the same thing, expecting a different result.
Yeah, I think it's not wanting to accept that you've wasted that amount of time of your life, especially at this age. That's what I think.
So
it is.
waste more of it?
Hey, I'm not saying I believe that reasosoning. I'm just saying I've heard it before.
And it's not, first of all,
And
to
what
say
you
it's
just-
a waste is way oversimplifying this. Like even if it's not a great relationship, there's something that's keeping you there. You've had some good times. You've had experiences. You've learned. Even in your 50s, you're learning.
Right.
It's not a waste. It's life. It's
Yeah.
how you've lived for the last 12 years. It's not a waste. It's just what you've chosen. And if you want something different, then choose something different.
Well, that's my philosophy. I'm just saying that I hear it a lot from my single friends. Well, not single, but not married.
But not satisfied.
Not happy. No.
Wanting something else, but doing the same thing to get the same result.
Yeah. Just not wanting to give up on it. You know, sometimes there's, family involved. They love the family that's around them. And it's a number of things. I've heard all kinds of excuses.
Why can't they just be single?
Some people, believe it or not, don't feel happy unless they're in a relationship or what, even if it's a bad relationship. Like they would rather be in a bad relationship than single. I don't know. That makes no sense to me.
And that's crazy because if you don't feel happy without a relationship, how are you? You're just setting yourself up to not be happy in a relationship. If you're not happy with yourself going into it, somebody can't make you happy. You got to be happy. You got to figure it out yourself.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that's.
I mean, look at you.
Yeah.
You don't want no man. You don't want no nonsense. You've already dealt with that.
But I was married for almost 30 years. And I got married young. So I kind of feel like I'm doing things in reverse. So I'm just kind of enjoying me, figuring me out, spending time with my friends, spending time with family, traveling when I can. Yeah, I'm not really interested in having a partner to do that.
Married. And these people are unhappily putting up with nonsense. Even when you're happily married, you're putting up with nonsense. But they're unhappily putting up with nonsense. She starts crying, and so does her nephew, Nick. I mean, they're both, he's worried about her.
Yeah.
I'm worried about her.
Well, I hope that if this is her last chance, that she really means it. And if it doesn't work this time, just find what's going to make you happy and move on with your life.
Look, she's worried about being alone. You either are or you aren't. Even if you're with him, you don't have any control over whether you're going to be left alone.
Well, that's
Nobody
what I
does.
That's what I get ready to say. People are married and in relationships every day that are alone. They can have a person sitting in the room with them and feel alone. So
You could lose your spouse and have to start over.
Mhm.
And if you're not happy with yourself, if you don't have that fire within you, where does that leave you? Maybe that's why she's dating younger.
Well, hell, look at the way she looks. She can do that.
I'd date younger. He's younger than I am. It's starting to sound like Greta over here with the cat play. I think this is going to be a shit show. I think she's going to go back to the U.S. disappointed, but they're not going to break up. They're going to find their way back around. He's going to go mess around and then come back to what feels comfortable. Old
It's a good
faithful.
possibility. Yeah, it's a good possibility. I just feel bad for her. She's really upset, and I think she has a lot riding on this.
She does. I feel bad that she hasn't figured it out. And she's so worried about wasting time. But it's been going on for 12 years. And they've broken up 20 times. There are 20 damn good opportunities to block that man and not answer the call. Because you know when you answer, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. What do I think is going to happen on this trip? They're going to fight. They're going to fight. They're going to fight. He's going to be lazy and not do anything. He's going to treat her coming over like a vacation. And then she's going to have to come back.
Yeah. Well, I think the best thing for me to say is when she decides to choose herself instead of the relationship, she'll be much happier.
Agreed. Well, that's it. That is 90 Day the Other Way. We've got Love is Blind coming out tomorrow. I've seen some interviews that some of the cast has given. I guess I can talk about that at the end of tomorrow's episode. We can do it after the theme song. But we'll be dropping both of them tomorrow. Thanks for listening, Channel Surfers. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're enjoying our content. We're up to 70 YouTube subscribers.
Woohoo! Thank you all very much.
We made it past the 69. We don't suck anymore. Yeah, we do. Who are we kidding? Love you. Like, comment, let us know what you're thinking. And we'll see you tomorrow with Love is Blind. Bye.
That's right.